Government has provided the 200 billion rands bank guarantee credit guarantee scheme. Of that 200 billion rands, and banks have advanced 15 billion rands to SMMEs. Those SMMEs, 75% are white. Equally, the business partners who CIFA is a shareholder in the business partners, they have a scheme to support SMMEs. And of their scheme, when they announced the 1 billion rands for their scheme, which was availed by Mr. Johan Rupert, the patriotic South African, 75% went to white companies. And that information we can avail to yourself. So there are sectors that are using resources that are both government availed, but also private sector availed to support the SMMEs that are not BE compliant. And you cannot say the credit guarantee scheme is not a government initiative. It is a government initiative.
My name is Anthony, and this is Real Native Voice. Last year I posted a video where Minister of Small Business Development, Minister Kumbudzo, announced on a live television broadcast that 200 billion rand of South African tax money, which was used as the COVID relief fund, was used to invest, 75% of that was used to invest into white-owned businesses that are not BEE compliant. What does BEE mean? Black economic empowerment, which means these businesses didn't even have a black partner in South Africa. So let's start the video and I'll give my input on it as the video goes on.
Government has provided the 200 billion rands bank guarantee credit guarantee scheme.
So let's just be clear. Government didn't provide the 200 billion credit relief scheme. Not at all. The credit relief scheme came from our tax money. So we provided, not government. We need to clear that. Government did not raise this money on their own. Government collected this money from us. All right. So your tax money, your VAT money, your value added tax money that was added on everything that you bought was used and collected and was used to create the 200 billion credit relief fund. So let's just clarify that part right there.
Of that 200 billion rands, and banks have advanced 15 billion rands to SMMEs. Those SMMEs, 75% are white.
So what is an SMME? An SMME is a small, medium, micro enterprise, right? Just a very fancy way of saying a small business. A portfolio that this minister, Minister Kumbudzo, heads up. So what did this minister just say? A black woman under a black government proudly just say that 75% of that money that came in went to white small businesses, where white people are the minority. But 75%, the majority of that money went to the minority, and the minority of that money went to the majority.
Equally, the business partners who CIFA is a shareholder in the business partners, they have a scheme to support SMMEs. And of their scheme, when they announced the 1 billion rands for their scheme, which was availed by Mr. Johan Rupert, the patriotic South African, 75% went to white companies.
Minister Kumbudzo is right. There was a scheme. There was a scheme between private and business, between private companies and government. The scheme was, how do we make certain that taxpayer money continues to flow into white-owned businesses? How did they do that? Well, firstly, you heard a call out the name there, Mr. Johan Rupert, who donated his own private money, as they say. So he donated 1 billion rand into the economy to be used as loans. And then you have another partner in NASA, or whoever she called out there, that apparently worked with Mr. Johan Rupert so that they could make certain that 75% of the 200 billion rand went to companies that are related to Mr. Johan Rupert and to his partners only. Let me just clarify what the minister just said right now. 200 billion rand, right? 5 billion came from the banks. Johan Rupert only donated 1 billion rand. There's no other funding that came. The rest of that money came from our tax money, from Treasury, right? So our government said, you know what? Let's proactively deal with this COVID situation, and proactively we're going to take this 200 billion because this is important for the economy of white-owned businesses, and we're going to make certain that 75% of that money only goes to white-owned businesses, even though we are a black government and we could have used that money to build more black enterprises. Just saying.
And that information we can avail to yourself. So there are sectors that are using resources that are both government availed, but also private sector availed to support the SMMEs that are not BEE compliant.
So what does non-BEE compliant mean? Non-BEE compliant means non-black partner. So these are white-owned businesses with not a single black partner in the company. Now, BEE came into South Africa late 90s. It was a law. It is a law in South Africa. The law in South Africa states if you want to do business with government, you must have a black partner. Specifically, not just a black partner, specifically a black female partner. It would actually help you as a company to get more tenders or more contracts from government. These companies had since the late 90s to add a black partner onto their company. They didn't do that. They don't want to share the equity amongst people of color such as ourselves. So what does the government do? Not punish them, not do anything to them. In fact, the government actually helps them. How does the government help them? 75% of 200 billion rand went to those businesses. Let that sink in. Under a black government, and you have a black minister, a female, who clearly understands why we have BEE credentials that are required in this country because of apartheid, because we were excluded out of the economy. So what do you do then? You reward the former oppressor by giving them more money. What a great government we have, eh?
And you cannot say the credit guarantee scheme is not a government initiative. It is a government initiative.
I'm so happy the minister said that at the end. A government initiative. A black government initiative. A black government initiative to reward white-owned businesses that refuse to have a black partner. ANC has been in government since 1994. And since 1994, you have seen an explosion of white-owned businesses. You have seen an explosion of wealth amongst the minority that has grown, that is unbelievable. Businesses before 1994 and after 1994 became billionaire companies, huge enterprises. Tax money has been collected over and over and over by a black government since 1994. The same government instituted the BEE policy. The same ANC government went to parliament, used their majority to vote in the BEE policy that said strictly that no company in South Africa can operate in this country without having a black partner. What? It has never been enforced. It's never been pushed. No white company has faced any criminal, maybe a fine here and there. But we have seen wealth amongst the minority continue to grow. It's unbelievable. You have seen more and more people of color in South Africa become poorer and poorer. Why? Because this government ANC does everything in its power to protect the interest of white monopoly capital or white-owned businesses. They do everything in their power to do so. From media to assisting them, making certain that they get the funding. 500 billion was sent into the South African economy. Not a hospital was built, not a school was built, nothing. I just played you a video of a minister proudly boasting that taxpayer money was used to look after white businesses that clearly don't need a black partner, and they don't want a black partner. You saw that with your own two eyes. You need to make a choice now. My choice is to stop supporting white supremacy. It's a very slow process, and it's an unlearning process that I myself am going through, and I would love for you to join me. But we have to start doing something, because there are groups that all they want to do is control us. They want to make certain that the money keeps going to them and they keep taking more and more of our rights. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like it. Please share the video. It will also go up on my YouTube channel, Real Native Voice. Please check it out on YouTube. I'll put the link in my description there. But yes, like, share, and engage with me, please. Help me figure out some solutions that we can all work together and we can start beating this white supremacy. And that we can all start having equality. And equality is only going to come with money. It's just the truth. Wealth. We're in a class system. So that's my advice, and I guess that's my 2 cents on the matter. But we have to fight this battle. We have to. We have to. My children can't grow up under white supremacy. I'm sorry. Not the hell is that going to happen. So God bless you all if you watched this video. If you watched it all the way to the end, thank you so much. Please comment. Please come into the inboxes. If you feel passionately about this, let's discuss this. And let's try and break from this white. The only way they're going to listen is with money. That's the only way they're going to listen. So God bless you all. My name is Anthony, and this is Real Native Voice.